What's going on guys, Hand Off here. Welcome back to another brand new video. In this video, we are diving deep into all season 2 changes coming to Marvel Rivals. There are tons of buff, nerf, rework and general basic balance tweaks across the board, and I have got some insight you won't want to miss. If you want more meta guides, breakdown and upcoming hero guides, especially for new addition like Emma Frost, smash the subscribe button. Alright, let's get started. It seems like all heroes invited to the Hellfire Gala got some special frosting from the one and only Mama Frost. And other heroes that didn't showed up or didn't got the invite to the Hellfire Gala are getting some decent nerf. Also a broad statement to say, dives are going to struggle a lot in the upcoming new season for sure, as the tank that was expected to enable these dive units was added to the roster with a totally opposite idea. And if you are confused how, then just imagine playing Black Panther against Emma Frost, and while you was about to use your dash or ultimate ability, you was grabbed by your neck and kicked across the map. Yeah, that's sad. Anyways, all that aside, let's get started with the buff received by strategists this season. Let's get started with something small. Invisible Woman got a minor change this season. Her Guardian Shield is getting 50% shield reduction. It's not going to be a drastic change for her, but if you relied on the shield for surviving burst damage, you will definitely feel it. Still, she is stealthy maniac, just a little squishy. Next up is Loki. He got a 5-second increase to his regeneration domain cooldown. It's slightly more punishing now, but the nerf isn't too harsh compared to Adam Warlock, who got hit harder. Compared to him, Loki still feels more viable. You won't be able to rely on your healing as often in tight fights now. Now, Mantis is kind of wild this patch. She can now double stack heals, damage boost, that's nuts. If you're good with timing, you can have multiple allies walking around with full buff and even when Mantis is not even nearby. This support value is absolutely crazy, though she lost her base health by 25. Now her health is going to be 250, which means she is going to be kind of squishier and will get killed easily by someone like Panther or Spider-Man. Speaking of trade-off, Rocket has a mix of buff and nerf this season. His AoE healing got dropped from 70 to 50 per second, but he now gets 55 healing burst right at the start, which is so much better, as once the healing ball gets near you or hits you, and you will get a straight instant healing with a massive amount. His jetpack cooldown is longer and the distance is shorter now, so his mobility took a hit, but the changes to his ult are a bit massive. When he pops off his ult, he gains 400 HP and gives the whole team a massive sustainable advantage, cause they will also get a huge amount of shielding on them. And this is a bursty ultimate, as it will not just provide HP, which is extra to your team, but also will provide a clutching potential to your team by giving them a damage bonus, which is just more than anything he can provide. As most of the time people used to complain his ult is not a defensive ultimate, but now it is. It is not just a defensive ultimate this time, it is more than that, which makes him more and more viable. Now let's have a word of silence for this boy. Adam Warlock's soulbound cooldown is up from 30 to 40 seconds, and now when he resurrects his teammate, they will resurrect it with 30% of their HP instead of their full health. This is a nerf to squishy units, but slightly buff for the tank. It's definitely toned down his cheat death power, but the cooldown increase is significantly hurting for him. Now some quality of life changes for the most played healer in the entire game since the game had started. Cloak and Dagger healing zone now disappears altogether instead of individually disappearing. It's a small quality of life change, but it makes gameplay more consistent. Now you no more have to guess whether you are in the healing field or you are not. That's all done for the healers. Now let's talk about the most interesting stuff. What changes are done to the Duelist exactly? First up on the list is Scarlet Witch. She lost her anchor bonus but got buffed to make for it. Her primary damage went up from 60% to 80% and her burst projectile and spell field damage both saw increase. But she did lose some mobility. Majestic projection cooldown is longer and the phase state duration is shorter. Still, with the new team up with Doctor Strange, her damage potential is stronger, making her one of the most strongest flanking unit in the game in the upcoming season. Next up on the list is Star-Lord. He got a bit hit. His E ability damage went from 80% to 75%, and now it has a fall of damage that starts at 4 meter and max outs at 8 meter. He's still effective but less domination from longer ranges, and that's a fair nerf to him. Next up is a guy who needed nerfs since a long time. Bucky's hook cooldown went from 8 seconds to 12 seconds, which is a big nerf for him, but the upcoming nerf are even bad. His ultimate damage dropped from 100 to 80, and calling threshold for insta-kill moved from 20% to 15%. These changes make him far less operational in clutch movements now. Next we have for Wolverine. As he was done getting banned every match, he got some nerf to handle that. Wolverine now generates less rage from everything except his primary attack and by taking damage. He needs to brawl more to stay effective now. Also, the knockdown on his ultimate got reduced from 1 second to 0.75 seconds, which may not seem like much but makes a real difference. Iron Fist also has some subtle but strong buff. His healing from Harmony recovery dropped from 150 to 100, but now it decays slower. Plus, his kick cooldown is lower, and now he is dealing more percent-based damage to high health enemies, which makes him more consistent and much better when he is brawling with tanks. Now this guy got a big glow up. More base health, more slow effect, faster cooldown, and even better damage scaling when he is in his inflated state. But he does lose some elasticity from his passive, and the inflated state mode bonus HP is slightly lower now, but overall way strong. He is going to be a maniac in the upcoming season when paired with Sue Storm, and the thing, cause their synergy with their team up is way too better when played together. Moon Knight's primary fire speed got buffed, and he is going to gain a bonus damage through his alternative fire, which falls off slowly over time. His hook activates faster now, and his ultimate lasts longer and hits harder too, especially in the center. He is hard to poke, better at dueling, and has more outplay potential. Next up is Iron Man. Now he gets 100 bonus HP when using overdrive, and it decays over time. He also got a smaller hitbox, so he is harder to hit now. These changes let you play more aggressively without immediately getting punished. Easily one of the strongest reworked this patch. After getting a recent buff, he is getting more. Johnny's attack speed got improved, and his Flame Meteor now gives him temporary bonus health that decays over time. He is safe during engagement and more effective in quick trades. Hela's flight cooldown went from 12 to 15 seconds so that she can't leave fight immediately, but her stun cooldown dropped to 10. But her piercing knife got a tiny buff, but it's still cooldown reduction that helps the most. Minor tweaks, but they really add up a lot. The slow movement speed Hawkeye had when charging his arrows is getting reduced from 30% to 20%, but his E ability is now dealing more damage, as it will deal 55 damage for both the hits. His draw speed is also getting faster when he is using his ult, making him deadlier in tight burst situations. Definitely a more fluid feel now, as you can move a bit faster while charging your arrows. Black Widow can now shoot instantly after her kick and after using her ultimate. This opens up a new burst potential and makes her better at countering the dive and tight flank which are contesting her. Feels a better sniper now, and that's what I can say about her. Now finally we can deal with the last hero type, tanks. As the developer had their word in their own trailer, tanks are going to be more powerful this season, with them being the main anchor. They had added around 2 new anchors to the game, along with changing 2 anchors which already existed by removing them. Let's start with Thor. Thor base HP went up to 600, but he lost an anchor bonus, so his overall HP is lower than before. He got a minor movement speed buff, but nothing game changing. He also lost some synergy with Cap and Storm, but people rarely used to use that. Still strong, but slightly less durable. That's the statement I would go with Thor now. Now for the thing, his leap shield has a damage reduction, right? But it got reduced from 30% to 25%, which affects both him and his allies. Not a huge change, but worth noting if you play him just to protect your team or yourself in tight situations. Penny also got a movement speed bonus while firing, cause she used to be 40% slower while firing, but now she will be just 20% slower, and her web cluster now can crit, which will do more bonus damage while dealing a crit hit. Crits can be harder to hit at a range, but even 1 or 2 connecting will add up a lot. She also got a 100 point HP increase in her base HP, which is massive, as long as she survived, the nest will survive too, which will make it more harder for the enemies or even you to walk into it. Magneto's ultimate cost is increased from 3100 to 3400. Damage output is still the same, but you will get ultimate less frequently now. Not a big deal in casual plays, but something to plan around in competitive matches. Hulk is faster now with his 650 movement speed. His guard cooldown went from 12 seconds to 10 seconds, which means the bubble will be more frequent for your use. And his leap charge is faster too. It's just 0.5 seconds. These changes means more uptime, more mobility, and just better all around disruption. Doctor Strange is also having a hard time. Doctor Strange does less damage now, but he gains more health as an anchor. His Maelstrom of Madness conversion ratio was reduced from 1.3 to 1.2. Not a huge nerf, as he is more shifted towards survivability, but he has a strong kit and utility which is necessary and must be picked. And finally for Cap, he loses 25 base health but gains 100 HP as he is the new anchor for the upcoming season, which is needs 75% HP gain. His shield value from Living Legend dropped by 50, but he gets 5% damage boost across the board. It's not flashy, but Cap just feels better now and makes him more damaging when he is in the dive state. So now what exactly conclusion can be derived from these changes for the upcoming meta? First, let's address what we know. We are getting 3 new anchor tanks to the game. But what exactly anchor mean? A character who is providing special ability to other teammates and don't have such enhancement to himself, such as Hulk, Emma Frost and Doctor Strange. Second thing to note is that we already have an tank which is an anchor, and he is Venom, who is completely off the meta but keeps receiving love from dev. Now let's talk about something that really is going to define the feel of Season 2. The rise of heavy flanking Duelist and how support ecosystem is shifting around them. With the introduction of Anchor Tank and the new team-up mechanism, heroes like Widow and Psylocke are getting way more operational, especially in lower elos. And the wild part is, they were already dominating even before these team-up got introduced. These heroes thrive on lurking and flanking and picking off squishies. They don't need to just poke like Moon Knight, they create chaos behind the enemy line. Now the issue is, what are the counters for these guys? Previously you could rely on raw healing to outsustain those flank with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock was traditionally being a huge answer to these kind of threat, but now people are assuming he will fall off because his soulbound ability got nerfed. Here is the thing thought. His healing didn't got touched. That means he still is viable, just more skill dependent now. You will need to play smarter with Adam, but you will also get rewarded more for playing him well. Now let's talk about Loki, who often sees Adam Warlock alternative. His raw healing is better than any other healer in the game right now, but even he also got some small adjustment with his healing domain. It's not hard nerf, but it actually fair balanced tweak. Previously that domain healed everyone in the circle and converted 30% of incoming damage into healing, which, let's be honest, was kind of bursty. If I'm Hawkeye and I headshot someone for 300 damage, 90 of that would immediately heal them. And if these domains are stacked with each other, that's instantly full health for them. These new changes bring things back to reality. It forces us to play them smarter and place those heal placement better. And yeah, I play a lot of Loki, so trust me, I felt this one. If you look at the direction of the buff and nerf, you can clearly see what the devs are trying to push. Heroes like Captain America, a dive unit, Psylocke, a flanker like Wanda, are getting buffed. Meanwhile, the top contenders to those dive are Adam Warlock and Loki are getting rebalanced. It's simple. The devs want us to lean into strategic gameplays, not passive poke and heal battles. They are moving away from who can sustain more and into a meta where skill expression actually matters. And as they are planning to reward high skill plays more directly, which makes this an exciting time to grind rank. But it's not all buff per flanker. They are balancing on the other side too. Take Thor for example. He received a movement speed buff which might seem minor, but when played as a secondary tank, it makes a huge difference. He is now way more effective at peeling for his healers and support. The backline, when a dive threat jumps in, his buffs are more effective in that scenario. Thor is no more a bully in the front line, it's more about making him more reliable in protecting. And that brings us to one of the most biggest surprise of the patch. As Namor is now synergizing with Hulk, he has a new Gamma Squid, which looks like a downgrade at first glance, as a lot of us thought losing the ice squid with insane slow and tankiness was a nerf, but nope. Turns out this new Gamma Squid is more lethal. It locks on to you like a laser, dealing consistent damage, and if you make it aggressive, I mean if Namor makes him aggressive, it's more likely it will deal more damage. Dive heroes like Spider-Man are no longer safe, especially with Hulk and Namor on the same team. You got to sustain pressure, damage over time, and brutal aerial denial. This is major flanking deterrent, and it shows that devs aren't just giving flankers all the power, but they are also adding new counters to check them. Now let's wrap it up with Luna Snow. She is in an interesting spot this season. She was always a great pick because of her ultimate and her synergy with Namor. But now that Namor moved on to Hulk, she loses some of her synergy value. Her defensive ultimate is still one of the best, but in many cases players are going to start preferring Loki or Rocket Raccoon, who brings more consistent healing and better utility throughout the match. It's not like she is completely unplayable this season, but she is just not the go-to unit in every comp match. And that's it. Every major hero update balance change in season 2, broken down for actual gameplay impact, not just the numbers. This season is clearly moving towards high skill strategic plays, and if you are someone who is thrive or smart position, tight execution or reading your opponent, this is going to be your meta. Let me know in the comments which hero you were surprised about, which ones still need work, and if you like this breakdown and it helped you to understand where the meta is heading to, drop a like, smash that subscribe button and stay tuned, as I got meta guides, hero tutorials, tier list and more content coming to keep your head on the curve. Catch you in the next one. Bye.